Hey guys, Vinni from Shark Fin Shears here. Thank you for tuning in to today's class where we're going to be doing a live haircut, bringing you tricks and tips that you can take this week and use behind the chair. I suggest taking one or two of these tricks, trying them out on a client this week, see how they work out for you. Have fun with it. We're going to have fun in today's class. And be sure to tune in every Monday or check out the YouTube channel so you can see the recordings as well. If you're in today's class, please stay tuned to the end. I want to give you a promo code that you can use on the website to shop around that'll help you out when purchasing a pair of shears. Shark Fin is dedicated to bringing education on the tools that you're going to be using behind the chair. I'll talk specifically about the shear that I use and why I like it. And I just want to let you know, again, before we get started, that Shark Fin has a shear for everybody, whether you're looking for a swivel or a non-swivel, a 5.5 inch shear up to a 7, and the different type of blending shears that we offer as well. There's something out there for everybody, and I want to make sure that you have the tool that you're comfortable with in your hand when you're working behind the chair all day. So again, stay tuned until the end. Thank you for tuning in today. And if there's anything in the future that you would like to see, hit us up on Instagram at Shark Fin Shears and let us know what you want to learn about. Let's get started. Good morning and welcome back to another Monday. Last week, if you tuned in, we had a special guest, Robin, on. Was very happy to have him. He got to cut my hair. I got to be in the chair. So if you guys saw that, I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I would definitely go check it out. Robin dropped some awesome knowledge for you guys. So yeah, check it out. I have been focusing on elevation and cutting angle. So we did 2 videos on that, and I'm going to give you a practical example of that today. I'm going to use a new tool today that Shark Fin has given me that I really like. So if you haven't yet used a feather razor, okay, for this haircut today, I'm going to really enjoy using this tool. We're going to do a longer haircut style, and I'm going to be using the foundations in the principles that we've been talking about recently. Apply it to this haircut, but it's applied anywhere in haircuts that you're using or doing every day in different areas of the head. But I'm going to show you on a longer haircut today. I'm going to use the feather razor. If you haven't used one before, this guard comes off. Without it, it's just a normal razor, a lot thinner. Blade comes out. Be careful with this bad boy. So when you're putting it in, let's see here, pushing it in, make sure you're pushing it in from the top. Now I'm left-handed, so this guard can switch, okay? So this is the teeth that is going to allow the feather razor to do its work. And these teeth are going to cut. It's not going to take all the hair at once. So the point of using the feather razor today on this haircut, it's going to give it some texture while I'm cutting. It's not going to create a straight line. So just adding that texture, giving it a softer look, lived in a little bit as well. So that's why I'm going to go with this tool, because we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. When first starting out, I used to use my shears to cut the desired length, and then I would go in and finish with a feather razor. So if you are looking to do something like that, or if you're not familiar with the feather razor, you can always use your shears first and then go in with the feather razor afterwards and finish. If you're going to do that, what I suggest is leaving the hair a little longer than you think you want to. So then when you go in with the feather razor, if you cut off any more length, you'll be okay. All right, so last two classes that I was teaching, I was working with Silas. So I got a newer mannequin head here with a lot longer hair. We're gonna start this haircut in the nape, and we're gonna go for a longer length haircut. And what I'm gonna focus on with you today, because I have a haircut that still haunts me to this day that came into the barber shop. We're gonna focus on how to keep a solid shape in the back, because we know that the neck curves in. So the neck is going to be sunken in from where the occipital is, and we don't always want to show the true shape down in the neck area. Okay? So what tends to happen is we'll cut a perimeter length that we want, and then we don't know where to connect it to keep that solid form in the shape of the finished haircut. And if we layer too much, or we connect in the wrong area, then you're gonna have a completely internal short haircut and not get the desired look that you want. So what I did was, oh man, this haircut still haunts me to this day. Gentleman came in, he wanted something similar to this, and I had no idea how to control the hair at that point for this type of haircut. I basically left this huge weight line at the occipital that then curved down into the bang, and I basically gave him a bob. I had a little bit of length down here. The haircut could have been salvaged, knowing how to remove some more weight, but I didn't know how to. So the guy left the shop, and the worst part was he was going to a wedding. Fortunately, it wasn't his wedding, but he was going to one. So lesson learned, and so yeah, that's where I really want to be able to help you guys control length and weight and in desired areas. And today specifically, focus on an external length with a 0 degree, and then how to layer and connect it inside while keeping a really good shape. Okay, so I got my feather razor. I'm gonna take a section here, and we're gonna focus in the middle here first. You can choose a reference point when you're talking to your client. So I'm gonna bring this up to about where his collar would be, where the name on the back of the mannequin head is. So let's go ahead and do that. See all that coming off. And you'll see this texture in here. One thing you can do with the feather razor, I hold it like I normally would with a razor. And then you want to pay attention to the angle. So I have it up against the hair. I have it at about a 30. I start a little higher than I want, kind of shaving the hair. And then as I get closer to where I'm going to be cutting it, angling more to like a 90, and I can cut it a little bit harder. This is a fresh blade, so this is going to cut real smooth. Again, if you're unfamiliar with a feather razor, then you may want to do this with your shears, and then you can finish the haircut with the feather razor. Make sure the hair is wet, saturated. That'll protect the hair while using the razor. Okay, so here's my length. I like that. And we'll drop another section here. Nice. Perfect. I like that. Let's drop another section. See if this will help you guys out. See a little bit more here. So again, main focus is going to be setting perimeter length. Make sure the hair is wet again. Let's drop another section. I had the head split in 4. I'm only going to focus on the back section today. I'm going to show you cutting this at a 0 in the nape. And then going in and layering it internally. Find my guide. Go a little bit past. So 2 weeks ago, talking about elevation and then cutting angle. So the elevation at a 0 right now. Building length and weight as we go up. And then I have a horizontal cutting angle in my fingers. As we move up the head, this is going to get heavier and heavier. So we're going to want to create a layer to reduce that weight to finish the haircut. Try to get this out of your way. This is there we go, that's better. That's Silas's beard. We'll do that beard. Do another beard tutorial soon. Okay, so controlled section, 0 degree, fingers straight across. Razor moving across that hair real smooth with it being saturated. I like to comb the hair back and down to keep that corner nice and strong. So slight over direction. Great. Moves pretty quick. And we'll do one more. We'll see if this hair even reaches.
This is a new mannequin, uncut, so it should reach. We're going to start to run out of hair in the next couple sections. All right, let's do this. Going to work in sections that are about from fingertip to knuckle. Good tension on the hair. Again, bringing that hair back, horizontal, wall to wall. That's going to keep the hair over by the ear real nice and strong, so that when we transition to the side in the cut, you can decide what you're going to do with that length there. I'm going to keep going up on this side just to keep it simple. And then we'll repeat to the other side and then go internal. Great. So your basic 0 degree with a feather razor. No layering right now. As you can see, we're cutting less hair. And this is just building up real nice right now. All right, let's see if this last section reaches. We got a tiny bit in the center there. Take care of these. Then we'll do the other side. And then with the mannequin, we can kind of show you the shape that we're building inside. So again, principles that are going to apply to this. When you take a clipper up and off the head, you create a heavy weight line, and then you need to layer from there. So what I like to do is I like to take this principle, and the way that I teach it to my students in clipper cutting is just what we just said. So if you take the clipper and you run it on a certain point to the head, you're creating a heavy weight line. And from that weight line, you're increasing length as you go up. But you need to connect it. You don't want to keep all that weight. So if that's the case, you got to figure out what you're going to layer to. Well, once you put the hair and elevate it vertically, you're going to be able to see the different lengths that are in the haircut. And depending on the length you're looking to achieve, you got to pick the right guide. When you have an idea of what you're doing, the hair will tell you the next step. So every time you make a cut, you're doing something to the hair, and if you know what that something is, you can use it to your advantage for the rest of the haircut. So when I said I'm putting the gentleman's length at his collar, and I follow that all the way through, that's going to dictate everything else that I do, and there's no guessing. And I'll show you that right after this cut here. Stick with me. I'm going to finish this part up. I'm going to show you the shape that was created in the haircut, and then how we're going to layer from here. Moving through a haircut like this, I have had finished haircuts with just a 0 degree and then going in, doing a long layer. I'm going to show you a little bit more than that today. But I think this is like a great surfer look for gentlemen who want to keep their hair long but professional. You can give them this haircut as well. All right, so let's take a look and see what we did here. Okay, so you can see the increase in length here. Beautiful. And then from top of the crown all the way down, that hair is sitting at one place. It's too heavy. So what do? Well, I'll show you where the mistake is made, and then hopefully I can show you where to correct it. So I'm going to take a center guide here. I'm going to turn them horizontal so you're not going to, or I'm going to turn them the other way so you're not going to see this right now. But I'm going to take a center profile guide. Turn them so you can see this. So let's talk about a basic principle. The closer you are to your initial guide, the shorter the haircut's going to be. So if we're trying to achieve a longer look, then we need to move further away from the guide. So let's see what that looks like real quick. Just to show you what that'll look like. So the closer I am to the bottom, then the shorter the hair. So right here. So that means we would cut all that off going straight up, but we're trying to keep length. So I'm going to take this here and I'm going to find that longest guide falling out right here. And then we can cut from there. So I'm going to use my 6-inch swivel. So we just created a layer there to remove some of the weight from the bottom. I'm going to take another section here. Same thing, same principle, same idea. Comb out, watch this last little bit of hair fall out. Take that longest guide there. One more, just slightly layered there. Now we can take the last section. And because this was the furthest hair away, there we go, I don't need all that. Right there. And that. So now you'll see this hair just falling short little by little and stacked at the bottom as opposed to all falling in that one area. And that is how I will take a 0 degree to get that desired length and find the appropriate hair to connect it to. What I'll do from there is take my center profile guide and I'll move it to the right. So I'll take the cut hair move it to the right side to uncut hair. And follow that up. And then again at that top and last section, I should not really cutting much. We'll drop this down if you didn't see that in the last one. Sorry, when I zoomed in, I didn't realize you guys wouldn't be able to see that. So here, have it all the way extended out, and then when I'm elevating it up, there's just a little bit at the end here. You can take care of that now, or you'll take care of it in your polish work, I would suggest taking care of it in your polish work. And I'll show you back here. So this was the section that we took here. So I'll split this section here. Move that hair over. I don't need all that. Then I'll take a new section of uncut hair. Move that out of the way. And then I can repeat the process. Section is about a comb width. That keeps everything nice and controlled. If you move in larger areas than that, or if you use bigger sections than that, then you just risk over direction at that point. Nice. So again, moving from creating a perimeter haircut to the desired length the client would like, moving internally to connect it, creating nice layers that soften the perimeter, and then again moving it to the right. So I take my section, split it again, move everything over to the left I don't need. Here's my cut hair. Take a new section about a comb width apart. And repeat that process. Again, moving across the head like this is going to keep more precision in your haircut, and you're less likely to over direct. Turn for you so you can see it again. So this hair you can see at the nape is all out. Taking that longest guide there. Taking a new section from the top, finding the last cut. And remember, cutting angle. So I got my finger straight up. If I were to hold it like this, but then angle out, that would create a longer layer. So you could do that too, depending on what you're looking for. Maybe you want to make a decision about the person's hair in the chair. So let's say I have somebody with fine hair and low density. I might not layer as much because the finished haircut isn't going to look as full as at the bottom. If I have somebody with thick hair and high density, then that 0 degree is going to leave. It's going to look like they have a helmet on their head. So we're definitely going to want to remove some weight from somebody's hair like that. This mannequin hair in the back is a lot. So we can layer a little bit more. Without a problem. So what we would do is just repeat that to the left side. And like I said, once you blow dry, go in and finish some of your polish work. Yep, I like the way that that's sitting. So the side's sitting a little softer down at the bottom. I got my layers sitting right up here, sitting on top of each other nice, and then on this left side, just a block. Still long, still flows. And then like I said, at the end of the haircut, that's when I would make some more decisions on whether I'm gonna have to debulk, maybe with a thinning shear down in the areas that are real heavy. But today we use the feather razor. So this corner here, this corner here is very heavy. So I can come in with my feather razor here, elevate slightly, get off of that 0 degree, and again, keeping that 30-degree angle as I'm working through the hair, and this guard that's on it, the guard that's on the feather razor, that's what's going to keep the hair long and thin it out. So you can see the length here, and then see the hair that's being removed. That's all just bulk and weight. And again, we'll have to show you on another class, but the principle of creating an area creating your length in a haircut, and then everything coming to that length, to that first cut, everything from there up is increasing in length, which is what you're going to want. But then controlling how you layer it for the finished product is going to be crucial to know where you're getting your guide from. And again, this principle can be applied with clipper cutting, even if you're going on the inside. When you're going on the inside, I just say whatever, you're creating a perimeter wherever you put your clipper. And if you're looking to create a longer hairstyle with the clipper cut, then when you go to elevate the hair vertically, you'll see where you left off with the clipper. And then there are guides inside there. There's about 3 guides. You're going to want to take the longest one and then cut from there, and then watch your cutting angle. If you have a vertical cutting angle, you're going to have more layers. And then when you go to blend the clipper into the shear over finger work, you're going to have to remove a little bit more length, which is going to bring the shape in a little bit. If you want to keep it bulky, a little bit more bulbous, then you can create a cutting angle that's out a little bit more in a triangular shape, and that will that'll keep more of the weight there. And then finishing again, you could finish a haircut like that with a feather razor, or go in and pick your texturizing shear that's going to be best for the job there. Again, the client's hair is going to come into play, whether it's fine, medium, or thick, and then depending on the density as well. As you guys get more apt to how that plays into the overall haircut, then you'll be able to mix the principle of what you're trying to do along with the client that specifically that's in your chair and the hair type that they have. So for now, if you haven't picked up a feather razor, I would encourage you to do so. Mess around on a mannequin head. That's your best bet. Make sure the hair, again, is saturated, and while you're doing it, blow dry to see the finished product, and then polish after that. And yeah, just go from there. So I hope this was helpful today. If you'd like to see this principle applied in the clipper cutting like I was talking about, please shoot us either an email, education@sharkfinshears.com. Reach out to us on Instagram at Shark Fin Shears as well. You can send us a DM. We'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this class. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.